as I was saying, the firms sell goods and services. Remember, they're not the productive resources, they're the place where the production occurs. They're guided by entrepreneurs. Big decisions are made by the entrepreneurs, but they combine all the resources into useful goods and services. One buyer of which are buyers in foreign countries. And they're called exports. So the exports come from the firm and go to foreign countries. Notice, to the extent we export goods, we are not able to consume them, or they're not embodied in our capital goods. It's in a sense a loss. It's the cost of international trade. Just as the imports are the cost of foreign countries of international trade. Now, if we take our imports and subtract them from our exports, in other words, exports minus imports of goods and services, it is called the trade balance, or the balance on merchandise and services account is its official name. That's the trade balance. In macroeconomics, if that trade balance is a deficit, imports exceed exports, it depresses the economy. And if exports exceed imports, it's stimulative and it has a positive impact upon economic activity. For all of you following the current maneuverings of the Fed, as I and my colleague Durbin have pointed out in our newsletters, one of the consequences of the Fed tightening is to cause the dollar to appreciate as capital flows in the country seeking a higher interest rates as a result of the Fed's activity, which is probably one of the reasons why the Fed hesitated this meeting to put upward pressure on interest rates. But when the dollar appreciates, it makes foreign currencies cheaper and hence foreign goods cheaper. Since you buy two things when you buy foreign goods and services, you buy the currency first and then the good or service. When the dollar depreciates, it makes foreign goods and services more expensive. So the trade balance, or the balance of merchandise and services accounts, exports minus imports, is significantly impacted as time goes on by changes in the price of foreign currencies, that is to say, changes in the exchange rate. Okay? And the exchange rates are the price of foreign exchange in currency markets, foreign exchange markets. And again, it's supply and demand. You can't escape it. The supply and demand of foreign currencies will dictate the exchange rate, unless there's intervention by foreign governments, which means they're either supplying currency or demanding currency, so they themselves are working through supply and demand, either foreign governments or our own government, or our own central bank on behalf of the government. And so now the thing that we have to get to eventually is, if this trade, these imports and exports, are based in both countries on what we call a comparative advantage, which really means producing goods which have the lowest opportunity cost. You may have an absolute disadvantage, but you can still have a comparative advantage. And that means that you have a lower opportunity cost in producing a surplus of these goods and exporting them than other countries have. If it's based upon foreign trade, international trade is based upon comparative advantage, we shall see in the next little mini lectures that will impact the production possibility curve in a positive way, shifting it from the origin. And that's the topic to which we will turn now, to the production possibility curve.